I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger.
Hey YouTube, Jim here, a little shop on the prairie. Okay, we're going to finally do some look at the Lathe Duplicator. I know some of you have been waiting for this, so let's move into it. The first thing I had to do to change over to the Mini Deputy was that's a 500 carriage versus a 510. So on the tabletop, these here they're movable, and there's a difference between the 500 and 510 in the width here, so you have to switch these around. And I had to use the manual because I had forgotten, but I have the manual, so I used it to get it set up. So the other thing is, when storing your Lathe Duplicator, once you get it set up, now we're going to go through setting it up on the Mini Deputy, but when storing it, I store it like this, okay? That way I can kind of, push it off to the side, hang it on the wall. It's out of the way. And once it's preset or set up for your machine and you fold these down, then when you go to put it on, you just have to fold these back out, and you're pretty close to being ready to go, like you saw in an earlier video. So that's important to know. The other thing, don't do like I do. Let me get this out of the way. I lost one of these earlier, if you remember watching, and I found it. But keep these on the Lathe Duplicator when you're storing it, and you won't have that problem of losing them. So they just go on the bottom here, just like so. Okay? That way, when you're storing it down, like I showed you earlier, you won't lose them like I did. Okay, so let's see if we can put the table on really quick. So that's kind of the first thing that I like to do. And of course, I'm not a pro, remember? This is just the way I do it. And it may work better. You may have a better way once you get one. But this is the way I do it. So, get this on. And that's one thing about the 500 too, I'd forgotten. Can you see? It's hitting the table when I try to lower it. So, I think what I'm just going to do, keep that loose for now, and just push this down like that. If you keep it waxed up, it's easy to move up and down. But that's the first thing. The next thing is to put this part on. So I cheated a little bit. I think I have it preset, but maybe not perfectly. So we're going to find out in a second. Take these off. And we're just going to set this up in place. What I try to do, yeah, it's not quite right, so that's good. What I try to do is, can you see here? I set these things on the ends of the way tube against the frame. Just because I like to have that already like that. And then I'll square this up. See, this isn't quite right. So that's okay. Back here, there's an Allen wrench back here, or an Allen screw. Oh yeah, the other thing is this thing has like 4 or 5 different Allen head screws in it, different sizes, which is kind of a bummer. I wish it was better. Oh, I forgot to put these on. That's why that fell. It's hard doing videos, you guys. I've forgotten some of my techniques. So I'm gonna set these in, and then we'll line this up on the next video. Hey, welcome back. Okay, so these are still loose. Got it set in. Now we're going to set this up to get this lined up and square. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, right there is one. And on the other side, we'll do the same thing using the way tubes. And I'm good right there. So it's now set in. Table's there. You need to use a spur for your stock, but we're not quite there yet. Now I've got to get the piece that we're going to mount. I'm going to use this. This is a pepper grinder I was making. I never really finished it up. I forget what happened on it, but it'll be a good example to use. But I have an issue because I did this and this, so we had to start thinking about stuff. And what I'm going to do is take the router adapter. It's got a chamfer here, so that'll help hold it right into there to center that. Normally you wouldn't have to do this, but because of what I'm using, I did. And I've got a piece of plexiglass with a hole in the middle that just I found in the shop that just happens to fit right in there. Cool, huh? So that you wouldn't have to normally do, but when you're getting ready to mount your piece you're going to duplicate, you may have to improvise in order to get it to fit on there. When I made the travel mug, I used a flat template. And these units here, these parts here are adjustable. They can go either this way, which is how I had the template done, where it was flat here. Oh, I had it this way. And you use these set screws to clamp it this way. But because of what the product I'm going to do today, I need to use these pins. So spinning it this way with these pins is what we're going to use. So that would be like this and like this. Let me just slide this guy loose and get this in like that. This like this. And then you gotta mess with this, but I wanted you to see the real way. Okay, that's pretty close. So now what I'm gonna do is get in here. Sorry if I'm blocking your view, but I'm just gonna snug this up right now, if I can. It's really hard to do when I'm doing a video and not wanting to block your view. I'm going to do it by hand here. Yeah, you can kind of see, huh? Now, what's going to happen here, what's really important here, I thought that was the right one. And that is the bummer about this thing, is that there's different size Allen heads and different size bits. that was way too big. But here's what you have to make sure to watch, and then I'll stop the video. I've got a little level on this thing. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want to get as close as you can, because the important part in duplicating this is that the mount and the part are the same. So I'm setting this on the table as my point of reference, and I can see the bubble is just touching the left mark. So what you have to do is make sure that this part up here is the same. And if it's not, you have to make an adjustment. It should be, because it's pretty much fixed, okay? It's pretty much fixed, but you need to make sure. Once you get that done, you want to make sure that your piece is in the same too. And there I eyeball, and I'll show you that on the next video.